Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89 here. The Joker controversy continues. Now, Warner Brothers has banned the media from their premieres, or at least the main premiere, the red carpet premiere. There'll be no media, as in no press interviewers, no TV show media interviewers. So there'll be photographers, but not people asking questions, basically. So the actors won't have to worry about any loaded questions or uncomfortable topics or flat out slanderous accusations. The media has been really ugly with the Joker. They have just, from the start, they have basically implied it glorifies violence and that it is going to, that's knowingly basically calling incels and white terrorists to rise up and attack everyone. There's just some bizarre scare tactic drama. They're just trying to create a problem that doesn't exist for story. Basically, they're trying to create their own story and create their own drama. It's kind of very weird. I haven't really seen this happen with a film before. It's happened after a film has been released and it's been accused of doing something and people have jumped on the bandwagon, but no one's even seen this movie yet, and there's just an assumption. And a lot of people are saying there's going to be copycats like the Aurora um, shooting, when the Aurora shooting had nothing to do with the Joker. It was done in a Batman screening of Batman The Dark Knight Rises, but the Joker wasn't in that, and the guy who did it wasn't portraying the Joker or living out any fantasy of the Joker or idolizing the Joker. It had nothing to do with the Joker. He just had red hair, and some person who didn't know anything about the Joker just saw Batman guy with coloured hair, thought it was something to do with the Joker, and that association came from that. It actually has nothing to do with the Joker. So, and when they did Suicide Squad, which was very much an anti-hero film, there was no drama, there were no threats, there was no violence, there was no assaults, there was no suggestions of it being glorifying anything, or there was no drama of that at all. So if the Joker is such a dangerous character and there are all these people just waiting for an excuse to go out and live some Joker fantasy or something, where were they when Suicide Squad was released? Why weren't they blowing up cinemas and shooting people? It's really crazy and insane. Um, the media is creating the reaction. The media is on high alert, which is their own paranoia and panic, which they're creating themselves so they can report about it, like it's like they're creating their own news. The LAPD has said there's no credible threats, but will be have high visibility, so they're going to be basically paroling. Paroling. They're basically going to be going around the cinemas and making an appearance and make it known that they're there to deter um, the apparent non-threats. It's all very strange. Stars and Stripes, which is an army criminal investigation command memo. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, that's a note. Stars and Stripes, which is a magazine, said the Army Criminal Investigation Command had a memo and saying Fort Still in Oklahoma was on notice. Intelligence had a bulletin in a Texas law enforcement agency working with the FBI said that a Texas law enforcement agency working with the FBI said there was chatter on the dark web targeting an unknown theatre on the weekend of the Joker's release. But FBI and the Homeland Security have found no credible threats. So there's a couple army groups who are sort of talking about this and suggesting there could be threats or problems, or asking their servicemen to be prepared based on nothing, based on just paranoia and the media. So the media says, oh, the Joker's going to inspire incels and white supremacists and white men in general to suddenly go out and attack people. and the army is like sending messages to their own people saying, "Oh, we should be on," because they're all heroes, and it seems to be all about their egos. They're saying, "Oh, these people are going to go crazy. We need to be on guard so we can protect the public and from nothing." So it's all very strange. Some cinemas have asked people not to come in costume, which is kind of sad. I actually wanted to paint my face up like the Joker when I go to the premiere or the opening night here in Australia, but I'm not even going to do that because even though there's no threats here and the media here isn't going crazy, I'm sure there'll be some stupid person who sees me and thinks, "Oh my God, oh he's because." And the next thing I know, I'm having security escort me out of the cinema or something. So when a superhero movie comes out, you could dress up in costume. I haven't really done it for superhero films, but I've done it for horror movies. I've done it for um, Star Trek. I've dressed in costumes and that's fine. But I'm pretty sure if I went as the Joker, someone would see it as a threat, and that's just ridiculous and paranoid. But apparently, that's the world we live in. That's the state of the media, and that's the way they work. If they don't have a story, they'll make one. Um, if they don't like something about you, they will just make up a story that works for them, apparently. So that's what they're doing with the Joker. And Warner's not happy about it. They actually, I think they've kind of realized that the very extreme left SJ Warrior sort of type people, and I'm basically a liberal left person. Um, I'm gay. I understand political correctness and diversity are important and all that. But at the same time, I think there's a line between utilizing that, working that, and like pushing it and being extreme and using it as a cause just to cause trouble and get attention and glorify yourself. And there's a lot of people who it's all about them and they're going to save the world from all these problems, and they actually don't really care about any of the causes or issues. They just want to cause a drama and make a scene and get attention and get validation. And that's the sort of people who would report on something like this and make something out of nothing and make a drama that doesn't exist. So it's kind of really weird. And I don't know. It just keeps going on. The drama, the controversy just keeps going, and stuff keeps happening. And I'm guessing it will right up until the film. And the scary thing is, I'm pretty sure there will be now someone wanting to not copycat, but someone wanting to fulfill this, someone wanting all this attention for themselves, wanting to now shoot up a cinema so then they get all this coverage because they want the attention, which wouldn't be there if it weren't for the media creating it. So they've basically created their own monster, and I think something is actually going to happen. Someone is going to want to um, live out this little fantasy that they've created that wouldn't have happened if they just did their basic reviews and treated it like any other film, and it was released. It would have just gone on without any problems, like the second Batman film that had the Joker in it, or the Dark Suicide Squad, which didn't have any problems because they didn't have this media paranoia and hype and drama around it. So it'll be interesting to watch this unfold, and I hope it doesn't go badly, but I've got a feeling it will, because someone out there is going to see all this attention and want that all the glory the fictional Joker's getting from the media, not from the film studio or the actors or the people creating the film, but from the media. And it's kind of surreal because the Joker is not a real character, but yet his image and his name have not engaged, because I'm not giving. He's not real, and the creators have no responsibility for this. It's all the media, but they've just jumped on this image and this fictional character and turned it into something almost real, and I think they're going to make it real. But I'm just going to leave it there. It's just exhausting, just the crap that is coming out about this. This is about the sixth video I've done, because every few days something happens. When the first trailer came out, there was a little bit of talk about this is all white men glorifying violence, blah blah blah. And then the second preview came out, pretty much the same thing. There were some stories in between stories that the premieres were just for white men. They weren't letting any minorities in. And then there was a reporter from the Wrap who was saying you can't listen to any reviews from white men, only women and minorities or women minorities. And just a lot of craziness started early on, and it just keeps going and going and going. And I guess it'll keep going, and I'll keep following it. But it's all kind of sad because it should just be a film people can enjoy, and what they should be talking about is the issues that are involved in this character and creating this character: mental illness awareness, mental illness treatment. What we are doing to help people who have mental illness, what we are doing in society that makes people feel so isolated, and what we're doing to stop that. That's what the conversation should be, instead of all this bullshit, because this doesn't help anyone. That could help some people, and that's what I think the film wanted. Those are the conversations the film wanted to inspire. And sadly, the media has just missed the point, or deliberately gone against, just ignored it so they could run their own agenda, because that gets more press, that gets more attention. A story about mental illness and helping people with mental illness, and looking out for warning signs and caring for people, and not letting people get so disenfranchised and disillusioned that they would feel the only way to get any attention is to do something negative. Sadly, stories like that don't get the kind of press and attention that the stuff they've made up does. So, I don't know. I guess the audience is rewarding them. I don't know. It's just a big shitstorm. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks. Let me know what you think. Bye.